ABBA. Tunisia. November 1st, 2019. In the heart of the beloved that you are, ABBA, I honor and greet your presence and joy. In the time of the moment, in the illusion of time, the good news gains every space, every corner and nook and cranny, in the whole manifestation, in the whole dream. I return at this instant to invite you to the indicable, beyond any understanding and any justification. So, beloved, I invite you to embrace yourself, to embrace every world, every moment, every corner and nook and cranny of every space, of your world and of every world, so that joy, without object and without reason, may be your abode of eternity, the one you have never left, beyond all form, emotion and thought, where nothing can resist or oppose, where nothing can be lacking. This invitation is present in you and in everyone, without difficulty, without reflection. All you have to do is say yes, a yes that does not include any classification or destination, and that is, and you know it, in the heart of your heart, in the heart of each one, in the heart of the instant. Then the choir of angels can resound in you the song of the deliverance of the dream itself. I invite you to silence, the silence of the majesty, the silence of the evidence, whatever you think, whatever you say. In this you recognize yourself beyond any form, any dimension and any question. This is the same gift of grace that is given from heart to heart, with the same consistency and equality. I invite you to love yourself beyond all conditions and thoughts. Remember that you have nothing else to do, except to say in your interior and exterior, the yes of deliverance, the yes of beatitude, the yes to life. Allow me at this instant to reveal myself in you in totality, beyond all perception, where everything is complete, and yet so immobile. This is the grace that now appears at every instant, from the instant you forget yourself in every claim and in every definition. Then you find yourself, where you have never moved, where you have never dreamed, where you recognize yourself, and it travels through space and the illusion of time, with the same regularity at every moment, where your presence is absent, so that you can never again be disturbed by any dream of any kind. You have completed the tour of time and the tour of any space of the event. You have chosen this, and in this it is appropriate for you to say yes, without thinking and without thinking, beyond any vision and any condition. Remember that you just have to embrace what is present, what is happening, and that's how you see and realize that it happens without you, that it happens naturally. This is the freedom of being and non-being, gathered in your flesh, in your heart, where you will never again be thirsty for what can happen, as for what can be happening. Remain there, in the heart of joy, in the heart of space and in the heart of every instant. Let yourself be crossed by the grace of evidence, stop nothing, do not put the brakes on anything. There is your beatitude, there is your absolute where everything passes and where everything passes, without the slightest discomfort and without the slightest question. I come to invite you to this permanent celebration today, in the time that is unfolding, in your final dream, putting an end to all desires, putting an end to all questions. You're here with me, I am here in you and you're here with me, in the same reciprocity and intensity, in the same joy of your regained essence, and of the smile that can only inhabit you. Go beyond what you feel, go beyond what you perceive, there is the immutable, there is the true, where nothing can mark you, where nothing can appear. Let yourself be loved, beyond any possession or restriction. Beloved ABBA, source of the dream, creator of the dream and its resolution, through the play of light and the play of forms, you have nothing to prove to yourself, except to find yourself intact and forever free from all defilement, as well as from all offense and distance. Let yourself be, grant yourself forgiveness for what you thought was offended or hurt. This fullness that is everywhere, and coming from nowhere, where nothing can be hidden or diverted, your heart tells you every minute in silence as in the circumstances of your life, and do not forget that you are life, before you are all life, where nothing disappears, where nothing passes. I invite you to deposit everything that may still seem like a burden to you, whether it is the weight of your age, the weight of your thoughts, the weight of your memories. All this will then be consumed more and more instantly and quickly, in the joy of reunion with yourself, beyond any consciousness and any character. I invite you to walk through space and to be space, not between two worlds, but in the very ether of this earth where nothing can no longer be limited, where the fire of love consumes every dream, with the same joy and lightness. and remember that you have nothing to do, nothing to forget, except what you really are. I invite you to celebrate, with each glance, each gesture and each contact, the same truth, which goes without words, and which is born in the silence of your presence, in each circumstance and at each moment. Where I am you are, and where you are I am, immediately, without delay, without restriction and without any doubt possible. So today I tell you, acknowledge that, there is nothing to see, nothing to perceive. Stop at nothing and you will find what has always been there, immobile, inscribed in the course of every dream, every life and every world. Go beyond the gaze and beyond history, go beyond everything, do not stop, let what is, the simple idea, the simple thought of saying yes, reveals you to yourself, with majesty, with certainty. You're there, in the heart of your heart, from everywhere in the world you travel, you're there, where nothing can be stopped, and you're there, with you, as with everyone, no longer making any difference, no longer making any judgment, because the celebration carries away everything that could make a difference, like everything that might seem missing. It was only an appearance, it was only a distorted image, in order to allow you to be that, and to live by yourself, beyond any discourse and any teaching, as well as any religion or any movement, the same and unique truth. Where the choir of angels can only honor and celebrate you, they are you, at the beginning of your dream, the one you have chosen in all freedom, and there is the true freedom, which has no need of any choice or free will, but which has to do in the eternity of the present instant. Where time can never be removed, or even measured, where you fill the space with emptiness and fullness with the same consistency and regularity. So is the absolute that you are. ABBA is only the memory of what you had written and that you could never forget in all the dreams you had gone through, in all the forms you had taken, in all the dimensions you had experienced. Let yourself be there. Where the simulacrum and the sacred are only the two sides of the same coin, which does not exist. I invite you to be, and no longer only to exist, to no longer stand outside the truth of the absolute which is agape. Let yourself be loved, it is the only thing that has never been removed or diminished, despite all appearances, like any suffering that lasts only the instant of the dream. Then each moment in you will be joyful, then each moment in you will be unique, repeating itself to the infinity of times and in the infinity of days of creation itself. Listen, beyond my words, there is silence, beyond the visible, there is also silence, where everything is perfect. Where you think that everything is accomplished, and yet it has always been accomplished, from the initial instant of the dream, from the initial instant of some suffering. So I invite you to say yes to everything that is and everything that is not. Don't make any more difference, you have nothing to calculate, you have nothing to answer for, there is your autonomy, and there is your only responsibility. I invite you to rejoice, whatever your story tells you today, whatever the destabilization of your inner or outer elements. Where you live, this is how you decided to live it, in order to restore the entire truth of who you are, beyond being and beyond all feelings. Whatever happens in this body, whatever happens around you, you will discover, if it is not already done, that it is the best opportunity, is the best condition of the dream to find yourself beyond any condition. So do not hesitate to say yes, and the ultimate reluctance will be dissolved in the joy of who you are. Do not question anything, do not ask for anything, just accept the yes, accept the indicable that you are, where no form is necessary, where no history needs to be. Entrust your suffering and heaviness to your own heart, without thinking about it, without understanding anything, for this is how you give yourself entirely to what you are in truth. For this is how you serve each other with the same consistency and regularity. I give myself to you to the extent that you give yourself to this stranger that you are. I give myself and you, without ever drying up, and without ever missing you. Then give yourself with the same intensity, by giving yourself, by embracing yourself as it is, you will find yourself, and you will not be able to divert, and you will not be able to turn away from what has always been there, in the depths of the flesh of your dream of this body, in the depths of every thought, every emotion and every idea. It is a restitution to the authenticity, to the child you have always been. Thus life will unfold a carpet of roses in all the circumstances of your life, where the past no longer has any need, and where the future no longer represents anything. Then your heart will rise to the rhythm of the truth, then witnessing the uprising and awakening of the elements and consciences of this world. Thus you will be the light of the world. Thus you are the original light, where creation and destruction are the same story, the same moment, and encompasses all spaces and dimensions. Accept the yes, and your acceptance will make you instantly happy, and your acceptance will bring you back to the freedom that you have never left. Everything is there. This is the universal balm for everything you can still experience, whether it is the weight of years, whether it is the weight of what you call society, or what you call your life. In the authenticity of your yes, there can be no reticence or questioning. I am you, at all times, in all space and from all eternity. There is no difference, except in appearances, in what you feel or do not feel, but all this belongs to what is passing, and has nothing to do with what is not passing, what you are, where nothing can be defined, where nothing can be understood but with acceptance and yes. It is childish, it is something that everyone, whatever their resistance, whatever their fear, whatever their suffering, cannot escape it and will not want to escape it. Just be there, where you have placed yourself. Do not judge anything about yourself. Do not measure anything about yourself. Just be there, at this instant when you hear me. Then you will understand each other beyond all doubt and problems. Silence. My friend, my beloved, honor yourself, wake up, pilgrim of eternity, as you may emerge some mornings from long slumber. You do not have to pull yourself together in any way, and under any circumstances. Let yourself be crossed by the gift of grace and the gift of life, by your ability to welcome without stopping, without wanting anything. You awaken and reveal yourself, and you find yourself, because never, in any appearance whatsoever, could you lose yourself. So if there are tears, they will be dried by the joy of your reunion with yourself, and by the consummation of love, which is only bidden at first, in order to put an end to time. Listen to yourself, not in your words, but in what the silence tells you, in the intimacy of your heart, and that is how you spread the good news, which needs neither speech nor proof, but simply you, as you are, at the time and place where you are. You are the dance and you are the life, you are the silence as you are the hubbub, and it is in this hubbub of the confusion of these times of this world, that you have chosen to find yourself, that you have chosen to wake up. Nothing else can count from the moment you said yes, from the moment you accepted yourself. Then you will find that everyone else, living their own dream, is simply there for that moment when you wake up and reveal yourself. Do not project yourself into anything, neither tomorrow nor the next moment, and moreover you will no longer be able to do so. Do not be affected in anything, by any story you have lived, this story that melts like snow in the sun, in order to go there also to yourself, where you have never moved, where you have never existed. Listen and hear, beyond all sounds and perceptions, what your heart tells you. ABBA is there, engraved in letters of fire, a witness of the consummation of love, of the consummation of the dream. The time has come to let the reticence and habits move away from you, without regret, without lack or question. Creation in its entirety is at the heart of your being, for you are all its ins and outs, all the dreams you have lived or projected, in order to rediscover yourself in this moment of joy of the zero time of the whole dream, in every world, in every dimension. Remember the simplicity and humility that you are, in order to discover that you have populated and filled everything, every corner and nook of every dream. It was only you, and it is always only you. In the eternal self of your indicable presence, truth is lived, where there is nothing to see or perceive, where there is nothing to change, where there is nothing to acquire, nothing to develop, or transform. Listen, in your ultimate reluctance, to the fire of the sacred heart that sets your being ablaze with these mystical reunions, which is the natural state. Whatever your heart tells you, by its warmth or irregularities, by its constancy or inconstancy, this is simply what you have written, to be sure to find yourself. Yes, you're ever engraved in letters of fire, in the initial moment of the first dream. The people of water came to sing it to you, to declare it to you, in the language of the origins, first verb/word and first breath, which is nothing other than the last verb and the last breath. They had never been separated, they had never been divided, they had never been cloaked. But it is forgetting that has made it possible to find yourself where you are, very exactly and very precisely. Whatever your person says about it, whatever your conscience says about it, they no longer stand up to the evidence of grace and of your abode. You're there, I'm there, everyone is there, celebrating in their own way the end of apparent oblivion, the end of distance, the end of any separation which, in truth, has never existed other than in your projection of yourself in each parcel of each other and in each world. Time is for the truth, which suffers no discussion. Neither nor contradiction can erect the slightest veil, the slightest distance or the slightest dimension. And the fire of love crackles from everywhere within your bodily envelope, within the illusion of consciousness, where there is no one left, where there is no form. And at this moment, the good news is spreading, touching everyone, where they should be touched, in order to bring about the end of the veil of oblivion as well as the end of all suffering. Where you were never born and where you will never pass. Learn to smile again, for no reason whatsoever, because you are the smile of life, which puts an end to all tears and all regret. Because there is nothing to regret, when the truth is there. There is nothing to project either, because the future is also there, in the instant of your presence, in the heart of my heart which is your heart, as in the heart of each person. Where the dream ends in an apotheosis of light, in an apotheosis of joy, which cannot be slowed down, which cannot be diverted, because everything contributes to the same joy, in any appearance whatsoever. So embrace yourself, as I embrace everyone, with the same speed, with the same accuracy. You're that, before you're even who you are in this form as in any form. And my words punctuate the truth of silence, dancing and singing the song of liberty and the dance of silence. Silence. You're the light of the worlds, you're the light of the dream, but you are much older than that, for you are everywhere at the same time, and in all times. There has never been a distance, but the illusion of it. In this humility, in this great yes, acceptance comes into being, where you can say nothing, where you can only agree in full. ABBA is in the space of the good news. You're that, and you are all the other things, and you are above all that. Let the fire of love bless your lamps, bless your presence and your absence together in your person, in the heart of the intimacy of your heart. Don't move, don't ask any more, and it's already there. Remains motionless, in unconditional acceptance of what is there. Your flesh as well as your history have only been pretexts, your conscience has been the tool, acting and reflecting to infinity the good news that is installed in every home and in every heart. Where you sit, where you listen to me, goes beyond my words with the big yes. Your freedom, nothing can stop you, and nothing can stop you even if you have believed and lived it. Here, listen to yourself, in this silence there are all the majesties and all the graces. You have nothing to ask for that is not already present in the intimacy of your heart, you have nothing to expect that has not already happened, because never left and never gone away. This is the announcement I will make from now on at every moment, at every breath of your life, in every possible way, imaginable as unimaginable. Accept yourself, totally, without restriction of any kind, because love can never be restricted, because love can never be amputated in any appearance whatsoever. Life invites you to celebrate these unique moments within the end of the dream of creation, and that is now, in this place where you are. Where you no longer need to dream and where nothing can miss you, because everything is given in abundance, beyond all measure, because you are the gift of life and grace, because you're every dream, because you're every time, every space and every dimension, always with the same reciprocity, in the heart of ABBA. And let it grow, traveling the apparent distance between you and me, let it be restored to you. You're that, the gift and restitution, beyond being and non-being, beyond any form, any framework and any contingency. Listen and hear what your heart tells you, it is the word/verb of truth, it is the word of eternity, and has accompanied each of your dreams, without ever failing. Accept yourself, as it has been, as it is, and as it will be, in the calendar of your earth time. The dream is extinguished, the truth is not a dream, it is the eternity before the form and before the manifestation. You're from everywhere, in everyone and between everyone, in every part of the dream, in all suffering and in all joy. Don't restrict yourself, you're limitless. ABBA, word and word/verb of eternity, having been inscribed in the first time of the dream, within the water from above and the water from below of all creation, all this is you, without any exception and without any discussion. Let your chest rise that sings ABBA in the silence of your heart, where you have never left each other, neither separated nor even divided. Where the yes is. Silence. Let your lips open to the smile of bliss without object and without subject. Silence. Listen and hear the rhythm of your heart that beats the reminder of your presence and absence combined, in the heart of your chest. Listen to yourself and hear yourself, beyond all sound, beyond all division, stop nothing, freeze nothing, in what you think is happening right now. It is the gift you gave yourself from the first dream, from the first form, that you have also been in the unfolding of the illusion of time, as well as space. Acknowledge yourself, you're the one. Acknowledge yourself, you're all dreams, all suns, all universes and multiverses, all lives and all kingdoms. Consume yourself in the joy and joy of what you have never left, of what you have never been able to take away. As has been said, ABBA, Brahmaskaya, AYOUN, ABBA, Brahmaskaya. This is the consummation of love, which consumes only illusion and consumes all suffering with the same speed and intensity for each ABBA who has said yes to himself. Then your heart will dance the dance of love, stirring up the fire of consummation, wherever your life carries you, wherever your eyes turn, wherever your conscience looks, rejoice. Silence. Let this fire start from all sides and especially from your head, reach the heart. Observe nothing, whatever your feelings or perceptions, let them be without you, for you are not even that, it belongs to the dream and you are much more than the sum of all dreams and all worlds, but you cannot count yourself, because you are infinite in every form and in every world. It will now be time to let yourself be spoken, to let yourself be expressed, however and however you want. Do not suppress anything that emanates from your silence, in order to resonate with everyone who listens and hears your yes, the way you express it, and in any way, everything will be welcomed with the same celerity and reciprocity. Then ABBA listens and will resonate in you in the expression of your yes, of your living experience, in this instant as in any instant, in that it may still seem to you not sufficiently enlightened and alive in this space and in this time. All you have to do is say it to see it burn in the same way, with the same truth. Then you who are loved, let yourself be loved by others who love you with the same intensity. Retain nothing, for love cannot retain anything. So is ABBA that you are. Everyone here is everywhere, will welcome you at the moment of his listening, of ABBA's declamation of the day. You are not alone and yet you are alone, because there is only you. Silence. Do not limit yourself there, for love dares everything. It cannot be restricted, it cannot hide, it cannot be reduced. Silence. Everything is but rejoicing, whatever you have to say, or even if it seems to you that you have nothing to say, ABBA's letters on fire are your own fire. Sister, when I say yes, beloved, sister, when I say yes, to let myself be loved, I can only love you, and let myself be burned. That is the way it is now. It is the yes to love, but you do not need to specify or name it. A simple yes today is enough to be consumed with the love that you are, and by the love that you are. Who can tell? Who wants to tell? Sister, I say yes, I accept this love of the other that is in me, and I accept this love that is me. And the yes multiplies to the infinite number of your presences here, which are only you. Despite all appearances, there is no more distance, no more delay, no more space to hold in this yes there and that you live it. Sister, yes, yes, yes. Agape, agape, agape. I say yes. Silence. The celebration of the yes is the ultimate rejoicing that contains all the others, in your final and initial recognition. Silence. Thus ends what has never begun. Thus ends the illusion of the dream of creation. ABBA in everyone. AYOUN's Karmakaya. Silence. Thus the alliance of fire is realized. I am you, I am ABBA, and I bow and honor your divine presence and absence. Agape ABBA, agape ABBA, agape ABBA, AYOUN's Karmakaya. Know her, know her, know her. Through Jean-Luc Young. Les Transformations. English translation, LMF.